Hello, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this recording. My name is McJay and I'm a sales consultant out of our Boston office. Today we're going to walk through a high-level overview of NetSuite's Media Sell Bundle, which is providing a way for our clients and prospects to manage their media delivery or spend within NetSuite. This can include anything from TV, radio, digital, print, and out of home, just to name a few. And today what we're really going to focus on is taking a look at how you can manage this entire process, from the creation of an insertion order all the way through to an invoice. By having everything on a single unified platform, you'll have a real-time 360-degree view into delivery data and invoicing details for each campaign. You're able to automate your entire billing process along with having real-time insight into forecasted revenue. You have the flexibility to throw this revenue report out by accounting period to have a comparative view of how much revenue you're projected to run or earn on a month-to-month basis. Ultimately, this is improving efficiency and accuracy across your entire organization. And lastly, with this bundle, there are a variety of reports that come out of the box to allow you to proactively manage and monitor the performance of each campaign to maximize your revenue. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my demo environment. So as you can see, I'm logged in as an ad operations, and I'm able to view and access information that's relevant to my role to efficiently manage my day-to-day tasks. We're going to go ahead and focus on the workflow that we discussed in the PowerPoint deck. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the seeded transaction for our insertion order. So as you can see here, I have a sample insertion order in the system. And this is just a sample form. So if you want to go ahead and personalize this form to report on additional attributes, with NetSuite, I had the ability to use point and click functionality to incorporate a new field or custom field at the line level. Very intuitive and easy to go ahead and do that to add additional attributes to report off of. And I do want to focus on a few fields here. So here we have our bill to, so at the end of the day, this would be the client we're billing, as well as my advertiser. So this could be an advertiser or a brand. So any relationship that you're managing, you can do that with the NetSuite and then report off of it. Scrolling down, I have some campaign info. So it looks like we'll be running and launching a new running shoe campaign. I could include the start and end dates of the campaign at the header level, but for purposes of this demonstration, I've actually gone ahead and done it at the line level. Again, we have some classification information, and we see a lot of our clients and prospects using this as attributes to report on. So whether that be revenue type, a location, or department, again, additional attributes that are very useful for reporting purposes. Looking at our items tab, this is where we're pulling in different products or items. So we can see here we have a couple of big box banner ads that we're running, as well as a short video clip. We've gone ahead and defined that quantity, budget, or spend that we've negotiated with the client, as well as a specific rate model. So keep in mind, one thing with this rate model is you can either define it at the actual product or item level, or if you have some type of pre-negotiated rate, you can go ahead and define that rate model at the client level. The system's automatically pulling in that predefined negotiated rate and calculating the appropriate amount. And as I mentioned earlier, we're able to go ahead and define our flight start and end dates at the line level for each campaign. And then this next line item is really important because this is how we link everything together and are able to reconcile our delivery data to our ad server information. So what the system does is it creates a unique line level ID that we can push to our ad server, and then once we get that delivery statistics, we're able to tie it back to this line level to go ahead and reconcile information and data within the system. And one last column I do want to point out is our creatives received. So we've gone ahead and we've luckily been able to receive the creative from this client. However, if you haven't received the creative just yet, NetSuite can set up reminders and alerts to allow you to proactively follow up with clients to ensure that you receive their creative work so this campaign can run on time. And then if you did have some type of approval workflow for internal controls, whether that be multiple tiers or multiple levels that you have to go through, you certainly can go ahead and define those and create a workflow to go through that approval structure. For purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and automatically approve this insertion order. So by hitting this approval, we're assuming the insertion order has been approved, and then what happens is this information and data is automatically pushed over to your ad server if you're using DoubleClick. So we have built a pre-built bi-directional integration with Delboomi to push the insertion order header details. So that's anything for client, ad server, as well as line level details. So the types of media that will be running, the flight start and end dates, to go ahead and automatically create this order in DoubleClick for you. We also have additional options. So if you're not using DoubleClick for your ad server, you could export this via CSV output. You could also build onto our open APIs or engage with a middleware such as Del Boomi, Celigo to create a bi-directional integration. So what happens next is now we'll assume this data, these campaigns and this media is being managed and run through DoubleClick, and then we want to go ahead and import those statistics and data back into NetSuite. So what happens is really we just do a data dump, and this comes back into a custom record within NetSuite, and you can think of this as an access table or a blank Excel spreadsheet. We're pulling in the details from at the line level for the daily deliveries that have occurred in DoubleClick. So pulling back each day, those impressions, views, clicks, media spend, whatever types of digital media or media rate models you're tracking, pulling that information and data back into the system to go ahead and report off that information. And how does this actually work? So this is really just a part of our initial setup here, but we have a matrix rate model that we have set up. So the value here is that you have the flexibility to define the rate models that you are managing and working with. And then as you continue to grow and expand, if you have a new rate model, you can certainly incorporate that here on this setup page. And then you map that to the specified media quantity column. So these are all being pushed in and mapped to the header levels on that media list from your ad server. So again, if we're looking at our CPM, we have those mapped to impressions. So when I go back to my media list, and the system will look at our insertion order, and if we have a rate model defined of CPM, it will then pull back the statistics related to this impression column. So what happens from here is we have a workflow that's automatically triggered, and you can define the frequency for when you want this workflow to be triggered. But what it does is it goes ahead, and I've already executed this, so we'll go ahead and take a look at the insertion order to see the end results. So here we have our insertion order, all of the same details that we looked at originally, but I have a few additional pieces of information here. And as you can see, the system went in and it summarized all of those statistics for us. So each delivery day and all the details we were pulling in from our ad server, it went ahead and summarized those impressions, those clicks, actions, any type of those delivery methods that you're tracking, went ahead and summarized each of those quantities. And then what we can see is based on the rate model, so here we have CPM, so what we're doing is we're pulling in our impressions for what was actually delivered or fulfilled within the system. And I have a record or a 360-degree view into that record. So if I want to look at just those statistics that were actually delivered for this specific period, I can go into my media tab and see the delivery details for the actual date this was executed. So they were all brought in and delivered on 10/31. This is when we summarize those statistics, and this is the end results for all of the media information. So again, that 360-degree view into my media details. And so that's one thing I want to point out. There's two others. One is on the Related Records tab. I'm able to come in here and see my item fulfillment. So the system, if you're billing off of actual delivery, the system's automatically going to go and create an item fulfillment record. And that's simply just the naming convention that we have in NetSuite. But you can think of this specific record as your item delivery or the delivery details coming in from your ad server. So again, you can see that summarized statistics that we executed at the end of the period, the end of October. We're going in and we're pulling in and creating an item delivery record to say, okay, now we want to go ahead and bill off this quantity that was actually delivered. And the third and final component is being able to go ahead and create an actual invoice or bill. So let me go ahead and save this insertion order down. And now when I click Next Bill, what's going to happen is what we want the system to do is pull in what was actually delivered. So we only want a portion to be able to automatically bill off our actuals. Now keep in mind I'm doing this off an individual insertion order, but you could go ahead and run this in bulk at period end to really streamline and automate your entire billing process. So as you can see, only a portion of our total insertion order is being captured here. And if I scroll down, you can see that that is correct. We have only the items that are populating based on what we actually delivered. So we didn't deliver anything for that third item. So we just have 2 items here, and those delivery statistics are being pulled in. Our rate models are accurately reflected along with the rate, and then the system's calculating the appropriate amount that should be invoiced to our client. And from here, we can go ahead and save and print to take a look at a sample of what this PDF would be that's communicated out to them. And you can either print this out and actually mail it to them, or you can go ahead and email this out as a PDF form to them electronically. So a lot of flexibility around that billing and invoicing process as well. So just to wrap things up, going back to my actual insertion order here to kind of capture everything. So I have a 360-degree view into all of my media that's running. So on my media tab, I can see exactly how much has been delivered, when we captured that statistical information or delivery details. I have a 360-degree view into my item fulfillment or delivery record, as well as what was actually invoiced. And then going back to my items tab, I can see exactly the quantity that was budgeted, what was actually delivered, and what was actually invoiced. So now to wrap things up, I want to take a look at some of the out-of-the-box reporting that is offered with this Media Cell bundle. So I've gone ahead, and everything on my campaign performance tab is the safe searches that are offered out of the box. And I'm just going to highlight a few here that I hear a lot of our clients and prospects request and ask for within NetSuite. So front and center, I have a Cell Media OSI report, or others refer to this as a pacing report. So I have a color-coded SKU on the left to go ahead and indicate anything in green. That means we're tracking to budget or spend. But anything in red is alerting us that we might need to go ahead and optimize this campaign. So let's go ahead and take a look at this specific campaign, this Boxing Day campaign. We've gone ahead and the campaign was supposed to run mid-October to the end of November. We've negotiated 1 million impressions to run. We've actually delivered only 25%, and then we're able to pull in any other fields that we want related to this specific campaign. So we want to see the total amount that this campaign was for, which is $10,000. So we know, it's November 6th, and we only have less than a month to go ahead and deliver 75% of the campaign. This is alerting our ad ops team to go ahead and begin optimizing this campaign and running it elsewhere to ensure that we can meet those revenue goals and objectives we had set. To highlight a few others, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down here. So again, I highlighted that missing creatives, a safe search, and a port right on your dashboard to go ahead and flag the system and alert you to follow up with those clients if you haven't received that creative just yet. And continuing on, our media book to run. So here we're able to take a look at our insertion orders, the total amount of each of those insertion orders or campaigns, and then take a look at that forecasted revenue and project that out on a month-to-month basis. So what it's doing is taking a look at our flight start and end dates, and then forecasting when we are anticipating on actually running or delivering that revenue. So we have better visibility into when we can anticipate that revenue coming in to our business and hitting our income statement. Then scrolling down, one last report that I want to capture is our value add report. And we hear some of our clients like to report back to an agency or brand by showing the value add. So here what we're doing is we're highlighting anything where we have a value add. So you may not be charging or billing your clients for over deliveries, but you want to be able to show them that you're actually delivering additional value for free. So this first report, it's safe search on our dashboard. We're looking at this based in terms of a dollar value. And you could also do this if I scroll down based on the number of impressions. So here we have 118,000, and this is based on the specific campaign for back to school. So we know that we've over-delivered this many impressions for this specific campaign. So just to wrap things up, I'm going to go ahead and pop back out into my PowerPoint deck to summarize this information. So what we have here, and really the value, is having everything on a unified platform to enable you to track and manage the performance of your campaigns. You have real-time alerts allowing you to proactively optimize a campaign if you're not tracking to budget or spend. In addition, having the delivery details in NetSuite allows you to automate your entire billing process by invoicing your clients based on actual delivery data for the period. Again, all this is being managed on a flexible platform with real-time business insight to ensure you're maximizing your revenue on each campaign.